the other day, my husband comes home with a huge bag of plums. I'm estimating about 10 kilograms. And my first thought, as always, was panic and anxiety. What am I going to do with all these plums? So those of you who know me and who know my husband know that he loves food and he loves to cook. We live in the south of Turkey in a Mediterranean city, and so this being one of the most fertile regions of the world, I'd say, we are surrounded by abundance, fresh produce all the time. We've been married for over 10 years now, so I have gotten used to his habit of bringing home really large quantities of things. If you stick around to the end of the video, I'm going to show you a 25 kilogram container of cheese he just came home with one evening. And I've developed some strategies for processing all the food he brings home. Today I'm going to show you what I did with the 10 kilograms of Japanese plums. But first, tell me, have you ever heard of Japanese plums? Do you even know what they are? Let me know in the comments below with either a big yes or a big no. Then hit the subscribe button so you'll be sure not to miss any future videos. And if you like this video, please do give it the thumbs up. It really helps this video get seen. So let's dive in. So this is me about to tackle the bag of plums. My husband had gone on a Thursday to his mother's house, climbed a ladder, picked these from a tree in her garden, and by the time I finally got up the courage to tackle the bag, it was already Sunday. So it definitely took me a few days to get over my procrastination. This tree is completely organic. It's, dare I say, neglected. And so this fruit and these leaves were covered in some kind of a mite or something. So cleaning them was not going to be a really pretty job. So they're really pretty on the stem like this, on the stalk. So I'm going to keep them like that. I think it keeps them fresher longer. So you can see these are a nice yellow color. These ones are more orange. They're a little bit more ripe, but they will also go bad really quickly. These brown spots is them already starting to go off, although they're still perfectly good to eat at this stage. They're just a bit less visually appealing. So I'm going to leave those near the top. So here you can see the state of these leaves and the fruit. They're covered in some kind of cobweb or something. So my first step was just to remove the leaves and clean these up. So here's the bowl of cleaned but not washed Japanese plums. So I just had one. They're delicious. This is one of those fruits that really starts bruising and going off, at least as far as appearance goes, almost the moment you pick it. It's really hard to keep these fresh for days and days. You really want to just pick them and eat them right away. So this appearance right now that you see, they're turning orange and brown, not very visually appealing, but they still taste as fresh as ever. So don't let that appearance fool you. So just a side note, this fruit is in Turkish called Maltese plum or New World fruit, Yeni dünya. I've never seen these plums sold in supermarkets or farmers markets. These are a really ubiquitous fruit that kind of almost just grows wild. I think either you have a tree or you have access to a tree, you know someone with a tree. So I think this is one of those fruits that people just go and pick themselves or receive as a gift from someone who has a tree. So I'm going to cut into one of these. Now I have never cut one. Normally I would just pop it in my mouth or, take a few bites holding it in my hand. But this is what it looks like inside. They usually have 2 or 3 beautiful brown shiny seeds inside. They're really pretty. It always makes me think I want to make a necklace of them or something. And you can plant them and start your own tree, I guess. So there it is. I just pop the whole thing in my mouth. I don't bother cleaning up any of this stuff. So just as a little PS to this video, this is a baby Japanese plum tree that has grown out of where I think a spat out seed landed maybe a year ago. Yeah. My cleaned and washed fruit sat around on the counter for a few days, and my kids really weren't into it. I don't know why. This is actually fruit they normally like. So I decided to make jam. Now, I got some major pushback from my husband. He told me that it just isn't done. Turkish people apparently do not make jam out of this fruit, although they do make fruit jam a lot. And so therefore my husband, very typically Turkish, just said, oh, you can't make jam out of this fruit. But I Googled it, and I made jam that was a huge success in my household. It yielded 2 small jars that were gone within a couple of weeks, and we're not even huge jam eaters, so that tells you it was a really popular thing. Now, I wasn't so happy with the recipe that I'm ready to share it. This recipe is going to need work. For sure, I didn't really love the consistency, the texture. It yielded very little, so I've got to see if there was something wrong with my measurements there. But I'm already looking forward to next spring and a new crop of Japanese plums, and I'm going to actually make sure I get my hands on a lot next year just so that I can make jam. So stay tuned. If you enjoyed this video, please do hit the like button. It really helps this video get seen. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so yet. You can do so right now. And as promised, here's the container of cheese that my husband brought home recently. So this is a container of 25 kilograms of cheese, and just for reference, the tin of olive oil beside it is 5 liters. That's all for now. See you next time.